for dinner on Friday night. Got lots of company. And so I made this ranch chicken parmesan, which I've made many times. Jared really likes it. You just dip your chicken in ranch, then you dip it in a mixture of panko breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, seasoning salt, pepper, garlic powder. I think that's it. And then you just bake it. Oh, drizzle some melted butter over it. So that's really good. And then I made some Brussels sprouts just because they sounded good. Just roasted it with olive oil and salt and pepper. And then I made a macaroni salad because I just was in the mood and it sounded good. So I'll put all the recipes below because I got them all online. So that's it. That's what's for dinner on Friday. Hey guys, for dinner on Saturday, I have been in the kitchen cooking for quite a while. We're not quite ready to eat, but I want to go ahead and show you while it's quiet in here. So I made a black bean and guacamole tacos. I'm trying it out right now. So let's start. First thing I did this morning was I made a big thing of black beans. So of course I only need 1 can worth of black beans for this recipe, but I'll be able to freeze a lot. Got lots of black beans, and then let's see, I made some homemade flour tortillas for the first time. I'll put the recipe below that I used, but it was super easy. It was fun. Jojo helped me, and they actually came out really good. They're pretty floury, like you can taste the flour because you know how to use a lot to keep it from sticking and stuff, but they're really good. Much better than store-bought. And then I made a black bean mixture. I'll put the black bean guacamole recipe below also, but this is just black beans, some corn, some red bell pepper, and some poblano pepper, and some cumin, and I threw salt in there. And you just, yeah, this just cooked less than 5 minutes in this pot. Although I do think it would be good to like saute the vegetables first and then add in the black beans, but this still is good. It's got some crunch to it. And then I made some homemade guacamole. I didn't use her guacamole recipe in the video. I used my own because I like our guacamole so much, but it's just 2 avocados, about half a cup of chopped tomato, 1 teaspoon of salt. I used 1 lime, could probably use a little bit more, but it is really limey. And then 2 tablespoons of chopped cilantro and like a tablespoon of chopped jalapeno, and that's it. Oh, and I got some iceberg lettuce here, and then Jared might want some cheese on his. But yeah, these were pretty good to me. Probably just serve it like with some chips and salsa and probably some fruit as usual. But I'm very excited about this meal. Hope the kids like it. But that's what's for dinner on Saturday. For dinner on Sunday night, sorry it's gonna be loud, we have extra people here like always. That I just made these croissant roll-ups. They're just croissant rolls, crescent rolls, whatever you want to call them, with some lunch meat, lunch turkey, and some cheese in there. We only had sandwich cheese, so I just used sandwich cheese instead of shredded cheese. And then you just roll them up and bake it at 350 for about 15 minutes. And then I made this vegan pasta salad that I have a recipe video for. It's pretty quick and easy and tastes pretty good. And then I just cut up some veggies. You can dip it in some hummus or some ranch if Jojo wants ranch because she doesn't really like hummus. And I might wash some grapes or some kind of fruit. But that's what's for dinner on Sunday. Good job. Hey guys, for dinner on Monday night we're trying a new recipe. It's a mushroom pasta with goat cheese, so it is a meatless meal. I've got some mushrooms here that I sliced up, and they've been cooking in a mixture of butter and olive oil for a little while, for like 5 minutes at least. And I've got some water starting to boil for the pasta. I don't know how to pronounce this. Farfal? I don't know. I got some wine over here. I get to cook with wine. I like the idea of that. It was just a cheap bottle of Chardonnay from Aldi. And then I've got some vegetable broth that I warmed up over here. I don't know for sure if we'll need it. That's just if we want to make the sauce more creamy. Here's a mixture of garlic and shallots we're going to be throwing in there in just a second. Some heavy whipping cream, some salt. I am tasting the wine. I'm usually a red wine drinker, but this one's not bad. I think it was like $2 at Aldi. And then over here we've got 2 cups of spinach, some goat cheese, and some Parmesan cheese that will be thrown in there later. So before I show you all dinner, I just wanted to kind of show you the process of how it's being made. Okay, so for this particular recipe, I should have started cooking the pasta before I started this because I have this done now and the pasta hasn't even started because it's taking forever to boil. But this doesn't take long, and then I'm just waiting for the pasta to mix it all together. And I forgot to show you that Jared put together the garlic bread for us. It was just a loaf of Italian bread, and then we melted some butter and added some smashed garlic and let that infuse together for about 5 minutes to make garlic butter, and then we brushed it on here. I already took a bite. It's yummy. Brushed the garlic butter on there, wrapped it in foil, and baked it in the oven for like 10 minutes. So that should be delicious. And there it is, all done. I think it's pretty good, but we'll see what Jared thinks. He's the one that likes mushrooms. That's why I made it for him. I don't really care for mushrooms, but I will attempt to eat some. And then there's the bread, and we're just going to top each of our plates with the goat cheese. Okay, so I'll put the recipe below, but that's what's for dinner on Monday. Hey guys, it's not quite dinner time yet on Tuesday, but I went ahead and got some pinto beans or baked beans in the crock pot, so I thought I'd show you real quick how I did that. You can either use, the recipe calls for 3 cans of pinto beans, but I had some dry pinto beans on hand, so I didn't have to purchase anything to make these homemade baked beans. So I just cooked my dried beans today, and then I put them in the crock pot with some of the juice that it was cooked in. And I mixed together 1 1/4 cup of brown sugar with 1 1/2 teaspoons of Coleman's dry mustard. Mixed that with the beans, and then topped it with about a cup of ketchup. It calls for 1 1/2 cups of ketchup, but I just stuck with 1 cup for now because sometimes it can be really ketchupy. So we're gonna have baked beans tonight with some barbecue chicken. That will be easy, and then a salad. So pretty easy dinner. Just had to do a little bit of prepping, but I just want to show you guys how I'm making the beans. Oh. And it's supposed to cook on high for like 5.5 hours. It's already 2 o'clock, so hopefully it's done in 4 hours. For dinner on Wednesday, we are eating leftovers, cleaning out the fridge. So Jared and the girls got a salad here, and I'm about to warm up all the leftover chicken we have for Jared and JoJo, and also some of the beans. You don't have to eat chicken, I know you don't like it. And also some of the beans from yesterday for all of them. And then I'll give Jared the rest of this vegan pasta I made a few nights ago. And I made something new I'm about to show you, but I also have a little bit of the that butter garlic bread that I'm warming up, so I guess it's still okay to eat. I don't know, we'll see. And then I made a new recipe for myself. It's a red lentil soup. So I'll put the recipe below. I changed it up a little bit. So I chopped up 1 carrot, 2 stalks of celery, 2 cloves of garlic, and like half of a yellow onion. Oh, and I had some, I think it's a poblano pepper I had bought for another recipe, and I had like half of a big pepper left, so I chopped that up, and I sauteed all that in some olive oil and covered it and let it cook for about 5 minutes until it was all tender. And then I added in 4 cups of vegetable broth, 1 cup of red lentils, and a bay leaf. Oh, and whenever I was sauteing the vegetables, I also added 1/4 teaspoon of salt and about 1/4 teaspoon of cumin. So that was something extra that I added, was the cumin, just from reading the comments. Oh, and then you just let it cook with the lid on, simmer for about 20 minutes. And then when it was done, I just added 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and a little bit more salt. And that's it. It's really, really tasty. So like I said, I changed it up a little bit by adding the cumin, the garlic cloves, the pepper. I think that's it. I got some cilantro over here I might top it with. It also says you can top it with some like Greek yogurt. But it's really tasty. So like I said, I'll put the recipe below. But I just wanted to eat something healthy and different. So that's what I'm having. For dinner on Friday night, we made breakfast for dinner. So I made some homemade biscuits out of my cookbook, which I don't have on me right now, but I'll post a picture of it. But they're really good. They're just kind of sweet. It had honey in it, butter, flour, milk, salt, baking powder. I think that was it. Then you just bake them. And I also made some homemade gravy, which I have a recipe video for. So I'll put that below. And then Jared made eggs and just a few more pieces of bacon left that we had left for himself. And then not much veggies, but I just cut up a few cucumbers for the kids. And then for dessert, if they eat their food, they get these raspberries, and we're gonna put little white chocolate chips in them. That was also in the cookbook that I just showed you guys. But yay, that's it. That's what's for dinner on Friday.